And one of the announcements today from the Prime Minister and the Minister is that there's going to be a focus on employment. And as I understand it, this money essentially goes into communities and then there is a collective. They decide. So there's this, control over their own lives. They decide where these jobs are going to be created. Is this something that works? Is this something you have experience with?
Look, I'm really quite excited about this announcement, Laura, and I'll explain why. The community development program has around 40,000 people on it. We came to government saying that program was not working, it wasn't efficient. It needed to actually create dignity in the workforce. People were painting rocks, they were just mowing lawns. We needed to be able to do more things to get training and employment. This CDP program previously was known as the CDEP program, which is the Community Development Employment Program. In fact, I was a participant on it back in my youth when I set up a community radio station in my home community. So it did work because what it did was it empowered organisations to employ locally and give employment to people who had particular skills of what was needed in that community. So we see these 3,000 jobs going into the future as being incredibly significant. The announcement that the Prime Minister is going to make today to work with organisations, but also local government. Local government plays a really strong role in this, Laura. When I was local government minister in the Northern Territory, I'd worked very closely with the sector because their employment area was just as critical in our regional remote areas.
Yeah.
And this will be important to them as well.
Again, months on from the Voice referendum, defeat, these problems still persist when it comes to youth crime in particular. I'm thinking of Alice Springs here. The only person that seems to have been back to Alice Springs is our reporter, Matt Cunningham, and essentially things are getting worse. Is this still the focus?
The focus is certainly on our youth and certainly on jobs. Clearly, the work that's being done in Central Australia is with the Aboriginal leadership group there that has been set up.
Yeah.
We know that they started off well, and I'll be following up on that after estimates this week to see where they're at. But we're also concerned about what we've seen across the country, obviously in places like far north Queensland, in the Kimberley. So we have other programs like the Justice Reinvestment Program, Laura, that is there to assist. And so these programs are there now and they should be being rolled out.
I'm just worried in an election year in the Northern Territory that things seem to really grind to a halt and, local politicians focus on their own seats and getting themselves re-elected rather than on the issues. I also note today that Chancey Paich Paik, I should say, he has had shares in an alcohol company that also has responsibility for distributing alcohol in places like the Territory and Alice Springs, but he also argued for those alcohol bans to be lifted in the cabinet table and didn't declare that he had a conflict of interest there. Do you think that's a problem?
Well, I've just read the article myself, Laura, so clearly it is something that is breaking news. I will say this, that no doubt the Northern Territory Attorney General will make an explanation. There are certainly many questions that need to be answered. And given that Parliament in the Northern Territory is opening today, I expect that that will occur. And I know that everyone will be looking towards that.
Okay, Malarndirri, thanks so much for your time. We'll speak to you soon.